All right, what's up, everybody? It's Julius D. Barrett, Majestic Studios, and just got a quick video. I'm probably gonna end up doing this in a 2 or 3 part series, just to show you the different parts of how you can create click tracks with GarageBand. Conversation came up on Facebook about this today, and just wanted to show everybody how I use GarageBand to create click tracks for my songs. Pretty quick and easy. You can be as intense or simple with this as you want, but definitely just creates a way for you to make quick and easy loops without having to manually play stuff in. So when you open up GarageBand for the iPad, this is an iPad Pro, and I think the interface, this also works for iPhone. I think the interface is very similar, if not the exact same. There may be some minor differences, but pretty much the concept of this will be the same across both of those platforms. So you open up GarageBand, which is free, I believe, or comes with your iPad when you buy it. You open up the app and you're going to click this Create Song, this plus here on the top left corner, or you could also use the plus that's over here on the top right. You could use either one of those, and when you push it, it's going to bring you to this area here where you're able to pick whether you want to use live loops or live tracks. And we're going to talk about tracks first, but we are going to talk about loops as well. So once you get into tracks, they allow you to select what instrument you want to use. You have a drummer, world instruments, lead guitars, bass, strings. You can connect a microphone if you have an interface for your iPad, or just speak directly into the iPad's internal microphone. You have guitar amplifiers that you can run guitars through, or if you want to run an effect through to get a certain kind of tone, you can do that through here. They've got acoustic drums, as well as a beat sequencer here. They have keyboards. Man, there's all kind of stuff. Sound libraries where you can load up different kind of instruments. They also have a way for you to use external instruments, which are still, it's external to GarageBand, but still inside the iPad. If you want to bring in some AU extensions, plugins, and stuff like that into your tracks. But what we're going to deal with right now is the drummer, because we're doing click tracks. And the one, you can use an acoustic kit, an electronic drum set, or percussion. And what I always use for my click tracks that I use for church is the percussion option. Just depending on the vibe of your song, you probably select electronic or percussion. I don't think you'd ever really want to select acoustic, unless you're just trying to have some realistic sounding drums backing you up while you're playing, because you don't have a drummer. So we're going to click percussion. All right, once we click percussion, it's going to bring you up to this screen here. What I usually like to do first is go in this top right corner with this little gear wheel here, and I put the tempo in of the song that I'm trying to create a track for. You can either do that by tapping the tempo, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, or you can click and drag. I thought at one point you could actually click this area here and type the number in, but that's not possible, doesn't look like. So you can just click and drag up to increase the speed, or click and drag down to decrease the speed. So let's go with about 115. Just for the sake of it. Okay, so when you get to this screen here, there's a drummer's profile pic here at the top of this section, and this drummer's name is Isabella, or percussionist's name is Isabella. If you click that, it opens up a window where you're able to select from various drummers, depending on the category that you're using. So under the percussion category, there are 3 drummers, and each one of these drummers within this section are going to have different types of instruments that they have access to within their loop screen. So there's I think there's 3 drummers, 3 percussionists here. Under electronic, I think there's 10. And then under acoustic, I think there's 15. All right, so like I said, I use percussion most cases. I have used electronic before as well, but most cases I use electronic. And so if you pick one of these drummers, I'm just gonna start with Isabella. These instruments that you see underneath her are the instruments that she has access to within her system. So if you click the instrument and it turns yellow or gold, whatever color you call that, then that means that's active. If it's gray, then it's muted. All right, so if I was to put this, this thing here is your loudness, like a volume and complexity grid, like XY pad. If you want your sounds across your loop to be loud, you push this all the way up to the top, and it's almost like it's velocity based. It's not just louder, but the sounds for some of the categories change between going from loud to soft. And then also complex and simple. This is in reference to how complex or simple the rhythm is that each one of the instruments play. So I'm going to start off right over here in the middle at simple, and I'm going to just put a cabasa on, and I'm going to push play so you guys can hear what the rhythm sounds like. If you look really closely, you can see right here on the timeline that there's little waves every time it's gonna hit. So as we go from simple to complex, you'll see more and more waves start to pop up on the screen, and the rhythm starts to get more and more complex. Okay, now the big change between there, from simple to complex. See, if we go up to loud, the sound changed to a little bit louder. Okay, so as you see, this can probably get pretty complex, but the changes that you make on this XY pad for the volume and complexity, it applies to every sound in the track. I'll show you a little trick that you can use to get singular sounds. It's not really a trick. You just have to make all the tracks individual, and it'll allow you to make these effects per sound as opposed to per the entire track. So from here, if you have this shaker and you're like, okay, I like that, but I wanted to do something a little different. If each one of these little sections where it says triangle, claves, cowbells, cabasa, maracas, tambourines, you have 6 different patterns that you can choose from. And those patterns will apply to each instrument that you have selected within each category. You can select more than one instrument per category. You can have all of them selected, a couple of them selected, one selected, or none, just depending on the sound that you want to go for. But just a minor change is one of these sounds gives you something, a different sound as far as your click track is concerned. So if we choose from 1 to 2, the whole pattern is going to shift. Okay, so you see the more instruments you start to add in, stuff starts to get a little bit more interesting. So if you say, no, I don't like those clap sounds, you just turn that off, or you could try just a triangle. Okay, and you can also, just to give you a different vibe, a different sound, you can change the complexity of the rhythm. Now, something that I really don't like, I never have really liked drum fills at the end of patterns. And this goes all the way back to when I was a kid, dealing with sequencers and my old rolling keyboards. I just drum fills at the end of loops, pre-programmed drum fills just always sound corny to me. So this thing where it says fills, depending on how crazy or intense you want the fill to be, man, I will turn this all the way off, and you'll really hear it if we turn on one of these bongos or something. See, I'm not going to use this at all. These fills, so I would just drop the fill button all the way down, and now it's going to keep the beat the same throughout the loop. Okay. So as you see, you can make adjustments depending on what instruments you want to use, how complex or how loud you want each instrument to be, and then the pattern that is being chosen as well. And as you see, this can get pretty complex and could take a while, but the object is not really to make it take a while, but it takes away from you having to actually manually input, manually find sounds. Your sounds are already selected for you. It's all in a really tight package, and the patterns are already preset too. It's just a matter of you finding what's going to be the best fit for your song. Okay, so from here, just to show you one other step that kind of can make things a little easier for you and make things faster. Right here under presets, they have preset grooves already set. So what I like to do sometimes, especially if I'm in a rush, like if I've waited to the last second to do clicks for my songs and it's I've got to get to rehearsal, it's that day or whatever, I will make sure that my tempo is set here, and I will go and I will just pick one of these presets. So let's just go to Ocean Drive, and it's going to come up, it's going to have stuff already selected for you. Let's see. I don't know if that's the one that we just did or not. So let's go pick another. I'm gonna go to Como Air. Stormy weather. South Beach. Okay, so from here, like I said, you just want a different vibe, different sound. You can go in and you're like, okay, that cowbell is doing too much. So you go in and take that cowbell out. Don't like the claps, they're sticking out too much. I don't like that. So it allows you to pick different sounds, different patterns that you would pick. Allows you to pick different sounds and different patterns. But the presets are already set for you, so you can kind of go in and just modify what's already there if that helps you speed up your time just a little bit. Okay, so that's Isabella, and so that's just one of the drummers. So you see her category is Latin percussion, so that may not be the vibe or the feel if you don't have a Latin type song where you need that kind of percussion. You could go in and pick one of the pop ones, or there's one called Songwriter. So let's go to the pop one and just see what it sounds like. So we'll pick one of the presets. I'm gonna go to Night After Night. Let's see. So like I said, you can go in, you can start from scratch, and you can add sounds until the track is doing exactly what you want it to do. Okay? That metronome was... Now see, these patterns are preset, like I said, so you really don't have control over exactly where everything is, but you could select one of the 6 patterns until it kind of meets what you want. All right, so that's what this system allows you to do. It's like I said, it doesn't allow a lot of loose creativity, but within the parameters that are already set, you can get pretty complex as far as how you want your sounds to be. Okay, so that is part 1 of this. I think I'm going to do a couple of videos, but this basically just kind of shows you the interface and how this is set up and how you could use it to make tracks for your songs. Hope this helps. Okay, so continuation from where we left off. All right, so the next step that you want to do is after you get and I'm going to just build something real quick, just so we have something to work off of. I like to use Finn because he has claps and stomps and this cajon in his arsenal of instruments, so that I can also get a solid, I think on this third one, I'm able to get a solid clap sound. Yep. Okay, and so like another reason why I like to use Finn is because I can take this clap and, you know, if it's loud, of course it's a clap, it kind of sounds layered a little bit, but if I bring it down to soft, that clap turns into a snap. And I like that, being able to do that. So I use Finn more than anything as far as my tracks are concerned. So let's see if we just do that, clap, a little shaker. Okay, so let's say that I've gotten that built up real quick, and I like that for a click real quick. All right, so what I would do is you could push stop. And if you push this button right here, not the mixer, but the one next to it right here, it's going to assign that entire loop to a track. And so now you've got that loop in a track. And after it gets to measure 8, it's going to loop back to the beginning automatically and stay on time. All right. So from there, if you want to go in now and you want to add another drummer or another percussion track, you just click this plus, and it's going to bring you back to that same interface category window that we saw before. So let's say we want to add another drummer, and this time I do want to add some bongos. So let's say we listen to this. It's going to be playing. As you see, within just a few minutes, not having to go in and pick any sounds, not having to go through and fool with the sequencer, not having to go in and manually play parts, we got something built that we could actually probably use. So I'm going to push stop. So now we got both of those tracks in there. Let's push play and listen to what we got. All right, so you can take this little button here, this little hash or line, and slide this over. You're able to solo tracks by pushing the headphone icon here. You can mute tracks. Change the volume. Create just the right blend. All right, now you can also, and I'm trying to show you as much within this because stuff is about to get really, really crazy. So you can push this little mixer thing here, and now you got a thing for your track volume, your panning, muting, and solo. There is a built-in effects processor that you can choose from which one of these effects you want. They've got distortion, reverb for the track. They got the good old Logic visual EQ. And you can just, tweak it to your heart's content to make the track sound the way you want them to sound. You want the click tracks to stay out of the drummer's way. You can take all the bass out so there's no kick sounding. You can kind of make a little knock, but not really a kick sound, so it doesn't get in the drummer's way. And this stuff is per track. I'm going to select Isabella's track and do the same thing. Okay. So just that quick, once you know what you're doing, this could have been built in about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, if, once you get stuff to going. All right. So now what I want to show you is, so now that is using preset drummers. But check this out. We all have come to know and love the Apple loops that are built into Logic. And that's what this little loop symbol here is. So let's say we go here, we push that. Now we've got tons and tons and tons and tons of loops here, okay? Now, a lot of these are instruments, which we aren't using because we're just doing click tracks, but if you guys want to go that direction, you sure can. I'm going to click this instruments thing because you can categorize and bring stuff up to within certain categories. Or things to narrow your selection down. So I'm going to go to instruments and I'm going to we can pick all drums, We can click kits. We can click percussion. And these are just loops that are already in here. You don't have to play anything. It's just click and drag right here on your iPad. All right. So I'm gonna there's a clap that I like to use in here. So you just drop that in there. I love that clap. Don't tell nobody, that's a secret. See, stuff's starting to get a little more interesting now, right? So and you can just continue to keep adding stuff. You can narrow your selection down by instruments. You can narrow your selection down by genres. If there's, if you want to go by genres with certain kind of loops that you want to look for, or descriptors, just like it's built in Logic. And you can use any and all of this stuff to narrow down your selection. If you find a loop that you like a lot, like you just click the heart next to it, and then when you click the heart up here, all your favorites pop up. Okay. All right. So that is the simple way to use, well, not the simple way, but that is the way I use GarageBand on Apple iPad to create loop tracks and loop percussion tracks for my songs for church. And then once you're done with them, all you got to do is you just push this button up here at the top, this top left corner, and it will automatically save it for you and bring it here. And then all you do is click and hold. You go to rename and give it a name. I'm going to call mine YouTube video. Click done. And then you can go back and select it the next time when you need it. You just come here. Generally speaking, I keep mine in order from the last time I opened it, because that keeps everything that I need for that Sunday or that rehearsal at the top of the screen. But you can also go in and you can sort it by name, so it's in ABC order. See, and these are all tracks that I've used and saved over time. Little shout track I had. All right, and as you see, this interface looks a little different. This is the live loops, and that is going to come in our next video. So if you want to know about live loops and how that works, I know you guys are looking at this and like, oh my God, that looks just like Ableton. Yeah, it is just like Ableton. Tune into part 2. I've got that video coming up in just a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps the channel grow. Hope you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Thanks again. Have a great one.